I recently stopped taking Pyke Syndicate Capos in my Pyke core units, replacing them with the Pyke Syndicate Foot Soldier. But can Pykes be successful at Courage 1? Wouldn't the lack of surge tokens on offense make a big difference? In my testing, I had some surprisingly good results. Let me be clear, I'm not talking about Pyke Capo officers. Those are essential to any list running Pykes. I'm talking about replacing the unit upgrade Pyke Syndicate Capo with the Pyke Syndicate Foot Soldier. Before the recent points adjustment, the best way to run a Pyke unit was with a unit level Capo and a Disruptor Soldier. You would also run Vigilance elsewhere in the army. The unit level Capo raises the courage value of the unit by 1 and generates 6 surges to be spent on offense through the course of the game, while Vigilance keeps unspent dodges on your units across rounds. Those upgrades used to cost 16 and 5 points respectively, and now the unit Capo is 18 and Vigilance is 12. As a result, spamming these units got harder, and popular Shadow Collective lists increased 40 to 50 points. A unit of Pykes with Capo and Disruptor now costs 86 points, which, while still good value compared to most other core units in the game, is expensive when you try to run just about anything alongside it in Shadow Collective. The points adjustments caused me to explore the overlooked Pyke Syndicate Foot Soldier. For a mere 9 points, you get an extra body, an extra attack die, and 1 cached aim token. While you lose out on the courage and surges, the Foot Soldier costs half of what the Capo does, and the Disruptor unit now costs 77 points, which is a bargain for what you get in keywords, offensive output, and defensive abilities. I've played these Disruptor squads with extra foot soldiers in my last 10 games as Shadow Collective. You can also watch my recent video on the Feryx Uprising tournament to see these extra foot soldier squads in action against a wide variety of lists that I think are at least in the A tier, such as Op Vader Dewbacks, 11 activation Iden Bikes, and triple Tauntaun Echo-based defenders. The trick with these extra foot soldier squads is supporting them properly with upgrades elsewhere in the list. By far the most helpful upgrade is Lead by Example. You can slap this on a Pyke Capo officer for 8 points, and you gain a 56 point unit with Inspire 2 and the powerful Aid keyword, generating a lot of value. I've been experimenting with fitting 2 of these into my lists, but that may be overkill. I tend to run one Pyke officer with Lead by Example and another with Improvised Orders. Another way to overcome being suppressed on Courage 1 is by using Gar Saxon's Compel keyword, which allows you to move for free at the cost of an additional suppression token, which can then be peeled off later by a Lead by Example Capo. Compel also charges up Danger Sense, which is a nice side benefit. A third way, and one I haven't tested fully, is by utilizing Maul's His Eminence command card to recover suppression during the panic immunity afforded by the card, since no part of the card prevents you from removing suppression tokens during the effect. I want to look at Maul lists utilizing this tactic in more detail, but most of my experience so far has been playing Gar Saxon and Lead by Example. Maul was already fragile and is even more fragile after the deflect change, so I've been somewhat hesitant to put him on the battlefield again, but you can make some scary lists with him and the cheap Disruptor extra body combo that this video is about. Now it's time for a bonus number crunch. Losing the offensive surge per round from the Capo translates to losing 0.6 hits on average from the full unit, which is significant if your Capo units shoot at full capacity all 6 times. The cached aim token helps mitigate this by adding a full average hit to the attack pool once per game for a theoretical net loss of 2.6 hits per unit per game. In practice, I haven't felt this loss has hit me that hard, likely due to the timing of the spent cached aim. This usually gets spent when I know I'm going to break cover already and I want to reach a certain break point where the average wounds after saves would kill or cripple the defender, or simply when I blank the Disruptor's red die for the maximum upside. Now I will fully admit that paying the premium for the Pyke Capo unit upgrade may be worth it in the long run, and it might be that in this video I've built a case against myself. But Legion games only last 6 rounds, and often a single shot can make or break a game. I've had quite a bit of happiness running the 77 point Pykes with Disruptor and Extra Soldier, and even the Whip with the Extra Soldier has its merits as well, which I'll be covering in a future video on Shadow Collective lists.